What is going on YouTube? This is Acid Roots. So I'm going to review a mixtape by Jody. Basically, this product is called The Game is a Breeze, and it came out in the winter of 2006. So the thing about this product here, for folks who don't, as Fullbound knows, Jody Breeze was a member of the group Boyz in the Hood as far as this first going to happen. Now nowadays it seems less likely that folks would Fullbound kind of remember that group, but then the pitches behind it, they were a 4-set group within the fair as far as this pitch kind of went. It comprised of Big Gee, Big Duke, Jody Breeze, and Jeezy. That was released in 2005, and then in 2007, Jeezy was replaced with Gorillaz. So some excellent type pitches. They were kind of on the come-up scene throughout the mid-2000s, pitches like that. They were around, I would say, probably between somewhere about like the spring or summer or so of 2004. They did drop like some stuff. They made some initial noise around that time. That's when Jeezy got signed as well to like a major label, and so then pitches like that. But 2005 was their breakout year within those senses, and then later on they dropped their second album in the fall of 2007. So it's within the pitch. Now I don't know as Fullbound. It seemed like once you got into 2008, maybe past like the first 3 or 5 months of 2008, it felt like the particular Boyz in the Hood group kind of fell apart. It was just within the pitch. Most of these solo members, most of these solo members have dropped albums. Obviously, Jeezy and Gorillaz have dropped albums, pitches like that. But within the pitch, maybe not so much albums. The other members have dropped. Jody Breeze has dropped a series of mixtapes like this one, as you'll see. Big Gee, I think, has at least dropped the occasional mixtape. Some of those have formats. So I want to get to some of his stuff. I want to get to some of Big Gee's type stuff, and I also want to get to some of Big Duke's type stuff as well within some of those type pitches, supposing he has some. It's just within the pitch. The other two members, Jody Breeze is pretty relatively prolific within a sense. He never dropped an album. Originally, he was going to drop an album. I don't remember what it was called, but I want to say back in like 2006, 2007, he did have a Wikipedia page that originally said that he was going to drop an album around those fairs, pretty similar to Jeezy, but this never manifested. But he did drop a series of mixtapes, which is some excellent type of appeal. I'm not sure if he had like a Gangsta Grill, something like that. It seems likely that he would have had a Gangsta Grills, but it's just going to pitch that this particular product here, The Game is a Breeze, is a classic. Just be able to say, recommend all 14 songs out of the 14 on here. There's excellence on here. Now, the pitch behind it, the other Boyz in the Hood members are on here on some of the mixtape kind of songs. And by the mixtape songs, I mean within the pitch, I'm talking about ones that rapped like other instrumentals, like Lil Wayne does with Dedication. And for actually like a short while, there was kind of a rumor that was going around in 2005 that Lil Wayne was going to be the next member of Boyz in the Hood once Jeezy left. And for a while, I think they kind of flirted with the idea of that, because he is on, in like 2005 and 2006, Lil Wayne was on like a series of kind of songs like that as far as those pitch can happen. So I don't know how many Fullbound songs he did with the Boyz in the Hood group. It's definitely some excellent type of appeal to lap some of these up, because Lil Wayne is on at least 2 of these songs. He raps to Soul Survivor, and he raps to like Joel Santana's Mic Check as far as those first come. So it's just getting those 3 members pitched like that. The other 3 Boyz in the Hood members, Lil Wayne, some excellent type fare kind of within the pitch as far as saying. But yeah, this mixtape was not necessarily a request, but it's one I've had on the back burner. I originally downloaded this mixtape back in 2022 when Dat Piff was still around, pitches like that. But the format of it was it was just consistently on the back burner as far as was supposed to happen. I never got around to it before my computer broke. So it's just the pitch. I lost that particular mixtape, and seemingly it seems like it's pretty much lost for like the particular fair. Now you can scoop it up on YouTube as far as what's supposed to happen, but in terms of like a download from like a website that you can just get it quickly within those fairs, it's not as commonly around. But I look after it. Definitely excellent that it continues to be available, because it is worth it. It's classic, like I was saying, just the aspect of just getting like just a spare, just getting like a Boyz in the Hood member that has some bangers as far as those aspects can happen. So just some pitch as far as saying it's a good type of appeal. So just being able to say within the aspect of it, because I recommend all 14. Now, there's 19 songs on this mixtape, but minus the 5 interludes and skits as far as those first can have an intro, outro, that sort of stuff. It narrows it down to 14. I recommend all 14. Now, I'm only going to talk about 11 songs, because 3 of those songs are just raps to other instrumentals that are already by folks. So it's just mixtape type format like Lil Wayne, like I said, Jeezy, some of those type folks. Those songs would be No Problem, which is still a little scrappy song, pretty excellent. Back to Business, which is Mic Check within those pitches, within those formats of the Joel Santana song back in those days. And then Hood Survivors is, of course, the Soul Survivor by Jeezy around those times. So just some pitch. Excellent type primary type stuff. Fuck with all 3 of those songs. Excellent type pitch to get those folks on there. Like I said, Lil Wayne's on at least a couple of these within those aspects. So even if you look up this product on Rate Your Music, it does not designate that Lil Wayne is on Hood Survivors with Boyz in the Hood, but some excellent type appeal getting that particular song. So it's a good type pitch to have a couple Lil Wayne verses on here. But yeah, just talk about a series of these. Stacking Paper with Slim Thug is a nice one. It's like a bopping kind of local jaunt noise kind of get here within the aspects of it. This mixtape kind of roundabout ringtone kind of heat within those aspects. Definitely some good type tones. This is just like a good ground level scrape as far as those fairs can have. So just within the pitch as far as saying this routine kind of block surfing pitches like that, some particular type of appeals. This reminds like a crime mob type song, some of those type pitches. Kind of within the format as far as just like crawls around the neighborhood within some of those type aspects, just the tone behind just picking up like basic goodies, some of those type fares, getting a couple bags of Doritos, some of those type pitches, some of those type fares within it. Just, I mean, it particularly has that money grit about it, just, stacking, just like the song says, stacking paper, getting towards the concept of getting like some, getting towards the concept of getting some wealth within the in-between, but it's also just some good type fashions for getting mapped out and figuring out some good recreation within those fares. So I just would say it's just amongst the concept of some good type aspects. Now, a real nice one on here, a real surprise hit off this mixtape, which is interesting that this, because Lil Jon seemed like he was Lil Jon was pretty expensive back in 2005, 2006 when he was in his complete prime with songs like Snappy Fingers and like the song he did with 3 6 Mafia, which I forget what that one's called, but songs like the hit single Snappy Fingers, then another hit song that was attempted around that time, which was Active Fool with 3 6 Mafia, some good type pitches. But yeah, this is the basic bop to kind of get here. It's like a mixtape kind of crunk highlight, I would definitely say. Just a secret Lil Jon heat to kind of just get crazy, some definite dance bite, and the song bangs pretty hard within those pitches. So just the aspect of getting towards that, it's just a basic kind of crunk banger. So there are some ringtone type moments on here within those pitches. I feel like Where He At's another one. I feel like the song Where He At with basically Wacko from UTP is pretty nice one, as well as like a lyric kind of ride out, I'd have to say, some lyric kind of ride out snarl. Just the mixtape version of Boyz in the Hood, I'd say within those aspects, just something like Trap Niggas, some of those type ones. Other songs like, there's a particular song off of like, I think it's like a song like We Ride and some of those type pitches, pretty triumphant within the appeal, but definitely some good type aspects to be able to get it. So yeah, Where He At's just a real nice one within those pitches. Very glitzy within the format of it, just like Trap Niggas and We Ride and some of those type pitches within the fair as far as those pitches can have. So good type tone. It's a real blistering type one with an aspect of something that feels like black tea type music with an aspect that likes some good. Kind of more southern fried version like Outlaws and Tupac type style, some ride outs, pitches like that. So some good type fair for like some quick times. AKs and Chevrolets is a nice one, as well as like a sludgy kind of dusk run kind of amidst like a city hop traffic within those fairs as far as those aspects kind of happen. Just kind of good for some goodies, some of those type pitches within it. Well, I mean, this one is not quite as ferocious as Where He At. It feels like maybe Where He At should be the AKs and Chevrolets type one. It feels like possibly AKs and Chevrolet should be the song that was Where He At. So it's just one pitch as far as saying this feels a little bit more kind of calmer and mild within the pitch of like a ride out type tone. It just doesn't, AKs and Chevrolets doesn't feel as ferocious with an aspect. It feels more of like 5 o'clock, 6 o'clock p.m. type dredge with an aspect behind it. It's kind of some neighborhood unwind within some type pitches within the format of it. I mean, it has like a relative kind of thump about it just within the pitch. Just some pounding kind of drum work within those sorts of aspects within the tone. It's just kind of the concept. It's just basic kind of night fog and ooze as far as what's going to happen within the pitch as far as that particular what happens. It's kind of the tone of just getting, it's kind of the embrace. It has a pretty good flip mode type embrace with an aspect of just like the conduct of like going from like a lengthy day to like some product where there's still going to be some activity later on within some of that pitch. Just kind of the format of like, I mean, it's some unwind from like the usual fare, but it's just the pitch as far as saying that it's still relatively lively with an aspect. So some good type tones for that. Fast Forward with Freeways, a nice one as well. And the thing about this project, there are some good guests on here, so it's clearly the fashion that Jody Breeze had enough budget to be able to secure some of these type folks. Just being able to say 8 Ball's on here, Jazzy Faye's on here a couple of times, Lil Jon's on here, Juvenile's on here, Freeway's on here, Wacko from UTP is on here, Trick Daddy's on here, Slim Thug's on here. So it has pretty good budget within these appeals as far as getting these folks. Too Short's on here, Mannie Fresh is on here, so just a good assortment of folks within that particular facet of how that stuff goes along. So just good collective pitches like that. Despite the fact that Jody Breeze never dropped albums, this is a pretty good type pitch to get this one here within the banging type aspect. So it just has that classic type of feel. Feels like a Gangsta Girls tape, some of those type pitches. So it's pretty notable with an aspect despite his lack of kind of like ability to really have much gathering towards getting it. But it is relatively available on YouTube. You just have to search for this kind of pitch. It is worth it, so definitely fuck with these songs. Fast Forward's like a skittering kind of night commute to kind of get here. Just a late shift kind of hustle and moves pitch, just like that as far as those fair. Some late shift kind of hustle and moves as far as those fairs can have within the pitch behind it. Just smoke up and kind of feeling grand within some of that pitch. So this is the form when I say feeling grand, it's kind of awake. Some of those type forms that just ready, kind of it's beating your chest like a gorilla. Some of those type aspects that just feeling pretty aspect within the tone as far as ready to hop out and get towards some time. So this one, a series of these songs kind of go in pretty good combination. I'd say AKs and Chevrolets, Where He At, and Fast Forward, and probably even Stacking Paper within some of these type senses have the format of just really getting towards some crosses within like the night weavings of it. Just kind of some city traffic, even if it is something simple like just picking up lighters, pick lighters, some of those type formats, and just getting like some Chex Mix and things, getting like some Lay's and Doritos bags, some of those type pitches, just the format, picking up supplies for like the fair. I would actually say off this project, apart from like the occasional kind of strip club songs, there's actually not a full bound amount of like really kind of house party type sludge. I'm real surprised that Jody Breeze didn't have more of those moments. Like when you think of the Boyz in the Hood album, talking about Still Slizzard, some of those type moments, it actually doesn't have that much kind of sleaze on here, which is actually surprising. As the hustle songs, as the night traffic, just the weaving, some of that type fare. But apart from probably Take It Outside and Pussy Pop, I'd say for the most part, this is actually rather controlled within the concept as far as saying that this doesn't really cut loose as full bounds. It's a little bit more of like a hustle grit type project, more so than the full bound kind of Friday type fare. There are some, I guess there are a few more moments. There is like, I would also say the song with Juvenile, which I'm trying to, I think Who Dat, it's another nice one for that. And then like I'd say White Tees is not. So there are some ones. It's kind of the concept. It's just the format as far as saying that more is just more in like a dance club type fashion, more so than like house party, which is surprised. I would have figured there would have been one of those on there, but still the pitch. So Who Dat is a nice one. It's like a night venue kind of basic knock to kind of get here, order drinks and kind of percolate pitches like that. Just kick off kind of some good kickoff within some side pitches. Just kind of a dapper kind of ambience I'd say about this song. Just good for some chatter as far as what's first kind of. So just the initial kind of noise, just like the conduct of folks showing up, your homies, some of those type pals within pitches behind it, just basic kind of plus ones and ones, some of those type pitches within the format, just within the tone. Folks like East Coast cats would refer to it like you man, some of those type folks within the pitch as far as those first comes. So just the product, just that initial kind of conduct, the dislikes and good daps, some of those type pitches within the fair as far as those aspects kind of go. So I just look within the tone as far as getting towards it. And this has some particular noise. It's dope to get like a secret kind of Juvenile verse on here around this time, because he was getting ready to get pretty quiet around this particular fair. So this is just right before his Reality Check album from 2006 came out, and then after that he took a pretty lengthy break. So it's just within the pitch as far as saying some good type aspects. Pussy Pop is a quality one. It's like an after hours kind of strip club banger to kind of get here, just cutting kind of venue turn up. I'd say within this song, this song definitely needs more Friday spins within the aspect. I'd just say this is a good type conduct here, just getting a secret type gem like this, just amidst like strip club type noise, some of those particular type ferocities, just to really get towards the energy towards it. I'd say Pussy Pop is probably tied for like the heaviest boiler off this product, along with Take It Outside with the Lil Jon beat as far as what's first gonna happen. So Take It Outside is the more commercial type one in terms of the more recognizability, but in terms of more strip club type fare within the aspect, is this something that has the after hours going to turn up, just amidst like the fashion, and just something that's more low key and has more sludge factor towards that. I'd say Pussy Pop's a real excellent type one within those pitches. That's a good concept. I Can't Help It with Jazzy Faye's a nice one as well. It's like a midday kind of summer dredge kind of get here, just a local kind of diva sunny day fair I'd say within the aspects here, just big timers like within the pitch, and just some of that green type aspects within the tone. Just feels very spring and summer. The song feels very spring and summer like. I'd say just some good frolic. Balling My Life Away with 8 Ball's a nice one as well. It's like a creeping kind of late shift spark to kind of get here. Just froggy kind of neighborhood weaving pitches like that. It's like some good homies. You know, this particular song is like some good homies noise as far as what's first going to happen. So just to miss the pitch, a little bit more social of a song compared to the first few ones that you hear, like Stacking Paper, AKs, and Chevrolets, and Where Are You At, and Fast Forward, some of those type pitches. But goes along with this, just good. Goes along with it, just some good type pitches, just the product of just feeling wide awake, just sparky within some of those type forms within the pitch, of just getting like some swishers in your system, some of those type fairs, just having some goodies nearby, just the form, just really getting towards the live factor within the it almost kind of feels like a pending type song, kind of miss the format where this is good moments right here within emotion, like songs like Balling My Life Away, but probably within like the next 35 or 40 minutes, it's going to be even more litty than that. Maybe it's like the Bellas and the Divas and the Starlets show up within some of those type pitches, and this the format getting towards like the more venue where it's going to be more where you're having and get some drinks going and pitches like that be more amidst like the dance venue, some of those type pitches. So I look within time, but still good type product, just being around the kind of neighborhood pitches like that, just figuring out how things are going to happen. White Tees is a quality one. Now this one, I forget, it has this one is a Mannie Fresh type beat, which is pretty dope. So it's like a jumping kind of vanilla dance floor, get loud within some of those type pitches, just kind of amidst like a healthy night commotion. I'd say here, good song to spark up to within like a social sense. So this is kind of the product. Having some smokage in your system, just being within the nearby kind of community of how those aspects kind of happen, just amidst like the standard venue type house pitches like that, just getting towards the noise of that sort of particular fair, just amidst like that conduct of it. When I say this is like a vanilla dance play, this is just a basic kind of one. This is like a very vanilla mixtape cut to kind of get here, just within the format. Not as ferocious, not like the crunk energy of Lil Jon with the song Take It Outside, and not like the strip club kind of low-key Pink Panther. not like the strip club kind of low key, kind of Pink Panther type vibes, the pussy pop either within songs I pitch. So it's just the format as far as saying paying attention to the aspects behind it. I'd say this is just the basic type one, almost within the same fashion as Who Dat. Almost within the same fashion as Who Dat, but I'd say Who Dat's probably a little bit more slinky within the tones behind. So it's just the pitch as far as getting towards those. And the last song I don't think I've talked about on here is Just Like I Said I Would. So it's like a slinky kind of ringtone era, kind of mixtape slam to kind of get within these aspects here. Just a routine kind of dope stunt pitches like that. Some of that type fair good dope stunt pizzazz that I'd say just an overall hot type one. This one has a Jazzy Faye rap on here, which is pretty good type pitches because normally he just does the ad libs and the hooks, some of those type fairs, but it's good excellent type pitch to get a Jazzy Faye rap verse on here. Excellent type fair just getting to those mixtape cuts. I want to say that Jazzy Faye actually dropped some projects as well. I think he at least has a 2004 album, so some good type pitches getting to some of those type fairs. He does fuck with certain types of folks like Rick Ross and T.I., some of those type folks in the format. I think to a certain extent he fucks with some of these other type ones. But yeah, Bun B's on here as well. Just like I said, I would like a good cousin of Take It Outside someone's relative type pitches. Definitely within the ringtone type format, something that feels like them franchise boys and like D Pharrell we kind of do within those aspects. Not quite as crunchy as like those particular songs, not quite as snap. It's within the ringtone realm of it, not quite as full bound snap, but within the relative. It's like a relative cousin of that within those pitches, just without the mammoth kind of hook or something like that. It's not like it's a bad hook, but it's this kind of pitch as far as saying it's kind of the neighboring community of like some primary kind of snap rap and ringtone within songs that pitch. So just the format of it. But I look after it here, just being able to say, yeah, this mixtape gets a 10 out of 10 just within those aspects here, just looking after the tone behind it. The social score I'll go ahead and give probably like a 10 out of 10 as well. I just would say this is a clean sweep here just to be able to get, because I look after the tone as far as saying it just has a lot of guests on here, some pretty noteworthy typeness, some fun verses, pitches like that. These instrumentals that are rapped here are real excellent on here. Lil Wayne's on here a couple times in like his Carter 2 and Dedication era prime as far as those pitches can happen. The rest of the Boyz in the Hood's on here in pretty good form. Some good folks like Trick Daddy, Slim Thug, Lil Jon, Jazzy Faye, Too Short, Mannie Fresh, Juvenile, Wacko, some of these type folks, Freeway, Bun B, folks like that are on here. So it's just excellent type pitch. Number of good choices, which probably could have been some good mixtape kind of buzz singles pitches like that. So it has some good fairs. The dance venue joints, when I was saying that this product is not quite as dance venue, or I was saying that this product is not quite as house party oriented as just a pitch. It may not have like the house party sludge and sleaze, but it's not quite as local bound, but it definitely has the aspect of just kind of the in-between products of being in the neighborhood pitches like that. Just kind of the saunter, like some of those type moments that just got done with things. Pretty much like just the initial moments that just got done with flip mode, probably like 6:45, 6:15, some of those type fairs are just getting towards it, just like some basic kind of night runs, figuring out finishing up like last minute errands, some of those particular type fairs, and then switching to like going to dance clubs and places like that where it's going to be like the standard star list to kind of have for like hollow music as far as what tone's going to have. So it's just one tone as far as saying good kind of mid-evening to after hours life as far as those first happen. So just within the pitch as far as getting towards it. So excellent type of feels. I'd say in terms of the future, like Jody Breeze, not really as full bound sure what he's been up to in relative time. So I want to say he's at least dropped albums. I think nowadays he probably has like something up on Spotify, some of those type fairs. These mixtapes are getting tougher to track down just because the relative slog that's going around with like the particular fairs, like things from 20 years ago and pitches like that. But just I'd say some good type stuff. Get this, definitely worth looking into within those formats. Easy enough to recommend. Mixtape classic here, easy enough. This feels like a Gangsta Girls tape, pretty official, pretty banner with the conduct, and definitely like a mid 2000s kind of staple in pitches like that.